Good afternoon, gentlemen. You have
Very good
used,
afternoon.
gentlemen, good afternoon. Once again, you are welcome to our security leadership discussion, where you have become almost, I'm sure, uh, habitual of always getting top-notch speaker, the domain expert, who shares his knowledge, his wisdom, his experience, and all these discussions are aimed to professionalize the professionals. That is the motto of International Council of Industrial Security and Safety Management. And it is my proud privilege to welcome a speaker of today's discussion, Commander Sudhir Kumar. Commander Sudhir Kumar, my pleasure and privilege to welcome you in the studio as our today's esteemed speaker.
Namaskar. Very good
For
afternoon, Captain Tech.
Sir, good
Yeah,
afternoon and Jai Hind.
I'm really
Our
happy to join.
yes. So we are, and for the viewers, let me introduce formally Commander Sudhir Kumar. He has served in Indian Navy for 24 years in various prestigious appointments such as Training Design and Evaluation Commander at Naval College of Engineering, Lonavala, and at School of Naval Airmen, SFNA, Kochi. Also as head HR and skill development at Naval Ships Repair Yard, Kochi, and radiation safety officer at Nuclear Submarine Support Base, Vizag or Vishakhapatnam. He is M.Sc and M.Phil in Nuclear Physics and M.Tech in Nuclear Technology from BARC, Mumbai, Executive MBA from MDI, Gurgaon, and trained psychologist for the selection of officers in Indian Armed Forces from DIPR, Delhi, and SSBs. He has served in Homeland and private security industry for many years. In fact, they started his second career in May 2006 onwards, and he has held positions such as Vice President-Risk Analysis Mitigation and at NAMESA Solution Center and Maritime Security at G4 Security Solutions Private Limited. He has also served in various security agencies as VP Strategy and Operations and Business. He has authored about 6 research papers, 56 technical articles, 300 blogs on LinkedIn to his credit. Additionally, he has 250 YouTube videos and he has spoken about 45 international and national conferences and attended more than 350 of them. He has traveled to 14 countries. So I wanted our viewers to appreciate the position where from he speaks. He has got rich experience and he has got tremendously impressive educational background. And what he has done is not done by most of us. Now, Commander Sudhir Kumar, I have held position of consultant with lot of awe, respect, and sometimes I feel this title is little mystified. And I used to wonder as young security professionals what consultants do and how they do what they do. So uh, it is going to be very enlightening for me and for all our viewers to know the details of the regime, the regulations, and the requirement of being consultant, how they go about it.
Very good afternoon, Captain Tyagi. And it was really, I'm grateful to you that very exhaustively you have covered my biodata and the experience. And I am really delighted on your professional discussion on this. And now the question which you have asked, how the consultant do learn and what they consult before becoming consultant. I will purely go with my experience in Homeland Security. I was fortunate enough to join as a second career after taking premature retirement from Indian Navy at G4S. That is G4S Solutions India Private Limited as a GM, Risk Analysis and Mitigation Department. It was the starting of this department. Colonel Goswami was there, then he has to go abroad, and then newly I was appointed in this. So there was no sort of, precedence or something to refer, but there was lot many things because the G4S in UK was having a dedicated risk analysis department, a very comprehensive, very exhaustive sort of an list how to go about when you provide consultancy or carry out the risk analysis audit. Later on, you can call it the integrated security audit or the convergence security audit as far as integrated security design is concerned. And nowadays, even along with the integrated security design, there is a situational awareness. So with this, the first of all, that I referred all the material which was available to me in G4S Risk Analysis Department, as this company was the oldest company, one of the oldest company in the globally, and our office at Gurgaon was dealing with NAMESA, that is North Africa, Middle East, and South Asia. Very comprehensive, some reports were there, those were referred, and then the complete methodology was gone through. Then I became member subsequently on joining, I think after a year or 2 years, I became the member of ASIS. And again, there is a lot of material that one can go through. Then I became member of Global Risk Community. There are also a very comprehensive and exhaustive list for the consultants are there. But what I would like to say to most of the professionals, those are there providing consultancy in any sector, the thumb rule is that you have to set a lot, you have to study yourself, and every assignment, every location, and depending upon the sector, that you have to come across with your own studies that how you are going to cover the entire range of vulnerabilities, where the vulnerabilities on the ongoing operations, what sort of a risk you conceive, and how you rate the risk over there. The complete matrix of entire risk profile is generated, and this is your own practical experience you start with, and sector by sector, assignment by assignment, it provides you the experience how to go about it, because theoretically whatever you have read on ASIS or the risk analysis department of G4S, and the comprehensive sort of in the format which was given, but with that comes your own experience. So when I started in G4S, I don't remember which was the first, but to my luck, I had plenty in my hands, and hardly any sector is there. Hardly any type of assignment is there in near about 6 to 7 countries. I covered the risk analysis audit and provided consultancy that how they can set up their security design at place, how the risk mitigation could be done, and how the security teams of the organizations, those who were client to G4S, how they could be provided the global best practices in risk analysis or the consultancy towards. Maybe it was a corporate office, maybe it was a sort of an, college, school, university, embassies, high commissions, hotels, hospitals, all these kind of a thing. Even I had a chance to go to Bhutan when coronation of king was taking place, and then all the sites where the public functions were going to be held, that I have to provide what sort of risks are there and how the G4S Nepal could take care, preemptive efforts so that no untoward incident takes place. So what happens, once again, I am coming to it, when I started carrying out this risk analysis of uh, whatever assignment came to me, that it was that I, besides the reference material which was available to me, I made myself totally engrossed into the what sort of an SOPs were existing with the client, what sort of an protocols were there, what sort of an business they were doing, and how we can provide them what they were looking for. Somewhere they were looking only for the physical security, but somewhere, because we started in 2006, in 2006-7, not much of integrated security or the convergence was, discussed. Mainly, it was initially only the physical security which needs to be tightened. So that security design or the consultancy was focusing on that, and the entire areas of the corporate office were taken into consideration, that the access control systems, entry, then violence, then any, the violence against women, how the women's security and safety is taken care, and even that we could see to it that SAPTED, that is the inherent, building designs, how they are providing. Then, what are the risks of the uh, building, inherent risk over there in surroundings, what is the crime rate, what sort of an goes on nearby, and and taking the entire parameters, that how our physical security is working over there. But subsequently, it has started coming that everyone was looking for integrated security design. So there, what happens, the physical security and the entire gamut of security systems came into play, and one has to have a sort of a knowledge, technical knowledge, to understand all the entire, the system ranges, because somewhere only the cameras were needed, but somewhere the other sensors, like, the car belly is to be checked up, the X-ray machine have to come up, then RFID has to come, tagging, and then access control, automatic access control. Then even in cameras, initially they were analog, later on they became digital, and even digital, they were, the run through to the entire facility, how the entire facility could be monitored on cameras. So it was gradually, the envelope of this consultancy was increasing. And now the latest is that near about 2009, I had an opportunity that I had to carry out a risk analysis audit of a very big refinery. That was BORL, Bharat Oman Refineries Limited. It was near about 1,200 hectares nearby Bina, and the plant was there, the line was coming, oil line was coming, storage, the localities, the train line was there. All these things, the challenges were there, and the chairman, the MD of BORL, was looking for a very comprehensive integrated security design, where we was supposed to give them a solution along with physical security. And I'm very happy to inform that when I went representing G4S over there, I myself and one more GM from the technical side, we both were there for near about 3-4 days, and we could propose the entire range of systems those were needed, whether it was the communication within the department, what sort of an fireproof cameras were needed at the operation sites, and how the third layer of communication or second layer and third layer of communication could be there, even when fire is there, and then entire range of security system, RFID tag, boom barriers, then monitoring at CCTV, all digital network. And there also sort of an situational awareness that how we are monitoring in real time, then physical security deployment, and to train the physical security that they must understand the entire, the security system, those were there, so that they are aware and how efficiently they could carry out the duties along with the technical staff, those who were maintaining all the security systems over there. So this contract, I'm happy even that time, it was near about 7 crore 82 lakhs. And the entire BURL was happy. And like military, they were not having for that big contingent of security, even the accommodation to be provided. So we were staying in the tents over there, and entire food and all these things were, provided, and there were snakes and all these things. So we have to prepare, even providing training to the entire security, which is very much part of the consultancy, because when you are providing a holistic solution, the client is looking for it that you are plugging all vulnerabilities, you are taking care, you're mitigating the entire risk profile, and you see to it that no untoward incident happen. And even in the residential colonies, and Bina was sort of a sort of crime belt over there. So then you have to interact with the police, you have to take record what sort of a crime is there in nearby, and how fast the crime patrol or any PCR is available, how fast the response could be there. And all these things are taken into consideration. So once again, I'm coming to it. Security consultancy is a learning procedure. You keep learning with every assignment or every site and with the sector. So here, like I have given one case study, but there is a case study that when we did the American Embassy in New Delhi, the challenges were altogether different. Even the terrorism was coming into picture. And then how you can proactively catch, if any, the criminal in the vicinity. And then Australian High Commission was having a challenge. They have brought a steel even for the peripheral wall. Because what happens if any bomb explosion is taking place, then the entire bricks and other things should not fly away and hurt the people over there. So there, how the things are to be provided, what sort of construction should be there, how much distance should be of the offices, where the car is to be monitored, how the car is coming, the swab is taken. So all these very complex procedures are there nowadays in security consultancy, and it has to be very comprehensive. So one has to learn that you learn through the theoretical procedures. You make yourself that in what sector and assignment is a typical or altogether different, maybe small in size, medium in size, large in size. Maybe the risk profile is low, medium, or severe. All type of vulnerability, all type of risk you have to take care. Now, one more thing I would like to say, that when we provided this solution to the BINA, this BURL, then there was an organization, UBM, they were organizing every year a conference, and they also give awards to the agency. Those are providing the best consultant. There are different categories, 17 to 18 categories by UBM and Security Excellence Award. It's an annual function, and it is being conducted always in Hyde Park, Central London, in UK.
I interrupt here, sir.
Sure.
I do not wish to advertise about any entity with which you or me are not directly related. A point here
Perfectly
is
all right. I was telling that solution was chosen by that function a finalist. And finally, we won that because it was a very comprehensive integrated security solution. So rather than looking for the publicity, that's not the aim. But the solution was so comprehensive that it became the best integrated security solution. And the kind of an experience you get, like in a year in 2009 and 2010, and even 11, I was able to conduct somewhere, say 20, 25 to 30, every year 30 security consultancy. So that's what was to
point
the
here about consultancy. Point here about consultancy. You mentioned that part of the report is solutions recommended. So when a consultant, through his consultancy reports, includes solutions, part of the solutions are technical solutions, technologically doable solutions. And often they are observations I heard firsthand from many corporate security managers that consultants try to sell the systems they have, not the systems which they should be for the customer. So, is it okay that you recommend whatever is in your portfolio? You named a company, or maybe any other company consultant is attached to, but then that brings objectivity, and also the observation which I refer, that consultants often tend to take heavily the side of certain solution providers. So,
yeah.
how to go about it?
Captain Tyagi, excellent question. And I just found that I did not cover that. You will be surprised that wherever I carried out this integrated security solution or provided consultancy towards integrated security design and situational awareness, you'll be surprised that electronic systems, I do not know before us, there was some other security player, and even the client, they were having, the overdose of security systems. There were so many corporate offices, so many organizations where the electronic systems were more. So that was my emphasis. And I'm just telling, even to the whomsoever is listening to this lecture, as Captain Tyagi brought out a very, very important point, that we have to see, rather than, the preaching or recommending certain OEMs, okay, this solution is the best in this thing, why don't you switch over? We have to see to it that, you provide the cost, you money for the solution. Like it must be a very sort of an optimum solution, I will call it. I always looked into the cost factor as a very important factor. And if though the system, those were already there, we were always gave a design that how all these could be cannibalized, made best use to it. So a consultant, a true consultant must not get into it that what sort of a solution he has to recommend. I know that a lot of competition is there, and everyone would like to, have the finances in mind. It is one of the thing the consultant has to think where in which company he is working, or even as an individual or in his organization is providing consultancy. But money for the solution, money for the client, the optimum solution. And nowadays, I know that the security of chief security officers, those are there in the organization, they are, better than those were earlier. Every one of them is exposed to certain qualification by ASIS, even by virtue of their experience working into different organizations. They have got tremendous amount of knowledge. It is only thing that when they are in seat, that always it is preferred that we should go consultancy from the third one from outside, so that you are having the best of the solution. So that's what is my recommendation. Consultant must avoid recommending a particular solution, rather giving an optimum integrated solution. I hope I have replied.
Definitely. In fact, I had my personal bad experience in the background. That's why I asked the question. But going a little back, when you mentioned about the experience and about the qualification, is it a case that a consultant need no qualification, uh, and beside this, uh, a consultant need to have a lot of experience? So I do not know. Probably you know much better than me, because I have not handled, not even entered this field even once. So consultants' prerequisite qualifications are not prescribed in India. That is one point you would like to share information on. And second is the experience. What kind of experience? The industries are different. There are thousands of different industries. So experience in one industry would not be relevant to other industry. So are there niche created for consultancy also?
Yeah. Again, Captain Tyagi, as you have got a very vast experience in security, your questions are very relevant and you are bringing very vital element into discussion. Let me say that there are the qualifications of security consultant, like you go to the ASIS, or there are many other this thing. Even I have got a foundation, which is a group integrated security consultants. But let me tell you, I will recommend, if anyone would like to see that how comprehensive the guidelines are given for becoming a security consultant, it is there in ASC. That is Association of Security Consultant UK. They have got very, very comprehensive, even, it is purely dedicated to the security consultant. And when I went for
When
this
you sit
award
down,
for this, so there, I became the honorary member of ASC, Association of Security Consultant. And the kind of guidelines, the kind of things those were given to me, they were very helpful. But once again, I'm coming back to it. Certainly, like whatever theoretical qualification you achieve in consultant, but the consultant is that who achieves confidence, and how you achieve confidence when you do by hand. Let me tell you, I think I have done near about 127, 130 or so, around that sort of, and then this integrated security analysis audits, and gave this consultancy to the clients. It is having the entire range, like coming to the High Commission, embassies, hospitals, 2, 3 top-notch hospitals, JNU, universities, hospital, 2, 3 top hospitals of Gurgaon, 2, 3 schools, then at least 20 corporate office, then industry, godowns, cinema halls, malls, resorts, all sort of a thing. So when you do near about 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 in the same sector, and as they are varying into, the every assignment is a different, it brings a lot of challenges to you. And when you are submitting your report, then you have to see to it that how this is different from that, because client, definitely, if you want to satisfy the client, and I was lucky that I could satisfy, even I did the government organization, which is not possible for any private, like MDL, Majgaon Dockyard Limited. And the study was altogether very complex over there. What was happening, that CISF, which is working over there, when Elcock dock, a separate dock was coming up over there, then the administration of Majgaon Dockyard Limited had a challenge that they were asking near about 265 extra personnel, and that was involving very heavy cost. So with that, I was with the Navy background. They said, they contacted G4S and myself, and they said, would you be able to do some justice, a sort of a comparative study? I went there, submitted a study over there, and you will be surprised that the entire need was cut down to 44 because there were a lot of, the manpower which was used somewhere else. I will not speak that why they were not on duty. And secondly, combatant were not needed at all the places. So what happens, these kind of challenges as a security consultant, you gain theoretical knowledge, and then when sort of an experience opportunity is coming, you prepare yourself exhaustively. You see to it that client is satisfied or not. Give a challenge to the client that after that, when I'm making a report, I'll submit a report, then I'll make a PPT, I will come in front of the management, and you will be surprised. There were many in PORL or say MDL, the other service providers, they were not able to satisfy them. So what happens, it is your own learning, pursuit towards learning. Systems.
At this point, sir, in fact, there are many other questions floating around, and I must use your knowledge and experience to get the answers. So one is observation about national occupational standards relating to industrial security field.
Yeah.
And if I am not wrong, about the consultancy job, there are no occupational standards in India so far. And the group which you have mentioned, their recommendations may not be fully applicable in India. Because in India, we do things differently. Not because we like it, because our climate, our society, our governments and our rules and regulations are entirely different. So we have to essentially do things little differently. Is it not good time to have at least a draft prepared for the consideration of authority who makes occupational standard to take note of the requirement which is emerging? Like I draw your attention to British Safety Industry Authority. British Industrial Security Authority. They have their occupational standards for bouncers, for gatemen, for escort service, for gunmen and whatnot, including the security consultant. And one of the requirement here, and I like to underscore here, is that consultants should not have stakes in any solutions, providers, or the technologies they recommend. So that is the highlight of their occupational standard. Now my part of focus would be on understanding what is the entire spectrum of consultancy. And you mentioned risk assessment. As a student of industrial security management, I often get confused, because when I start feeling satisfied that I understand what risk assessment is, and another doubt comes and I go back, what is risk assessment and what is security audit? Since you are such accomplished as security consultant, so can you differentiate security audits and risk assessment for our viewers?
Okay. When you are providing the security consultancy to anyone, the risk assessment is part of it. You can call it the security risk analysis audit, because if you call it risk analysis audit, risk is such a comprehensive area nowadays that even the financial risk, the management risk, HR has got different kind of a risk. All these are there. But in security risk analysis audit, you are concentrating yourself to certain things, that what could be the security and safety challenges to the assignment. And there, when you note down the risk, you start right from the periphery, your access control, the workplaces, women's safety, any terrorism attack probability, chemical, biological, even once upon a time in 2000 when some scare was there in US, even you are looking into it, that someone wants to see even that time, even the dirty bomb, how it could be, uh, the challenging. So the risk, evolving risk, the risk, those were there in 2002 for the industry or the other corporate office the world over. You will appreciate no one thought of it pandemic. And just see, it was altogether a risk and it got associated with the security. And uh, with the experience, I would like to say, and I think it will be appreciated by each one, that you know how your risk profile is enlarging and to what level it can go. I was chief security officer of Sharda University when COVID started, the first phase and second phase. Sharda University was having 14,000 students in campus, 12 hostels in different classrooms, 3,000 staff, which is coming every day. And then even the staff accommodation, 9 to 12 cafeterias, two hospitals, two big hospitals, dental and normal. And later on, during phase one, even the COVID hospital started over there. And now see that I am having a deployment over there and no one is there that who can monitor the requirement of COVID. All of a sudden, and you know the maximum you are having the guard force. And when these kind of challenges comes, your risk profile is, enlarging. So you have to be very quick that what are the solutions, so where could be the sanitizer, how you are going to monitor, how the swab samples are to be taken, how the temperature is to be taken, what sort of a thermal camera should be there, what sort of an I installed a video wall and established the centralized command and control center where we were monitoring near about 1,500 cameras 24/7, having the best of operators over there. The sanitizer were there in front of the classroom. And when your hybrid working conditions are there, you will not take chance. Even the vehicle which is coming from outside, so how the gate is to be manned and what sort of an help could be given. So what I am trying to say that nowadays the risk profile is very complex and it is ever growing, ever changing. Nowadays, just see the natural disasters. Nowadays, it is becoming industrial risk and even to the other assignments. So what happens? You have to see to it and gradually grow yourself that when you start assessing risk, you must look into it very comprehensive range of risk, what the client is going to encounter, and there will be security related, there could be the facility related, there could be the operational related, there could be the management related, there could be the natural disasters, there could be a pandemic, a global phenomena which is going to take place, and other things. So all these things, and secondly, your connectivity with the global presence. You are into different locations, and when you are into different locations and you are having the connectivity into your installations, people are coming, all these things. So this risk analysis audit is a very comprehensive study where you have to note down. It is not that you just go as per the security, but how your security will be affected by the other factors you have to take. Secondly, the corporate crisis management manual. So like in any organization, in industry, I went to Indorama. So there they were having all the protocols, all the defined systems, how the industrial safety is to be taken care. But they were very much looking for that when you are coming from the security background and you are carrying out a comprehensive risk analysis audit, I would like to see that you please look into my safety, this thing. So that was the time that I cannot say to them that I will not take into consideration the fire or the entire safety gamut of what is required in the industry. You have to read, you have to study, you have to carry out that comprehensive thing, and then you have to see to it that what sort of systems are there, what sort of SOPs are there, how literally the practical people are doing over there, and how you can minimize the risk and the concern of the client. So it is a very evolving field, and there's nothing different. Like when you are carrying out, some client will come, sir, I need only the consultancy towards my physical security. Perfectly all right. You just look only for the physical security. There could be the operational challenges. The proper SOPs are not there. The background check is not there, or they are not properly skilled. Do's and don'ts are not there for each post. So all these things are different. But when he is looking for integrated security design or the integrated risk analysis management towards the integrated security design, then you have to take all the systems. And when you have to take all the systems into consideration, you have to see the optimum solution. And nowadays, the most important factor is that all industries and all companies, corporate offices, those are having multi-locations. Everyone is looking for the centralized command and control system. And there, very comprehensively, you divide as per your things. Like I had divided all my cameras, hospital one side, hostel one side, all the classroom one side, dental hospital one side, and then COVID was on a separate screen. It was 25 by 5 video wall, and where four these operators were sitting 24 by 7. So these are the challenges. Even if the temperature my camera is showing at the gate, it is just an indication. But my security person is taking, and then it is taken to a remote room where no one is there, and his temperature is taken. Then medical attendant is there. So all these things there's nothing, there is no rocket science. It is your
Right.
common sense. It is your experience. And it is not the theoretical book. You study any amount of thing. Any security consultant passes any examination throughout the world, whatever qualification, but occupational standard we must have. And you had raised a very relevant question that, if a security consultant is having a stake, I think he will prefer. Like when I was going from the G4S, I will not say that I was not having that interest in my mind, that I must apply that solution so that this contract is given to me. But I was, doing a justice. I was providing the optimal solution. And when I took BURL, it is a proud moment. It was a proud moment for me for G4S that it was 7 crore 82 lakhs. So there the client has to be satisfied. But
Thank you
coming
very
back
much.
to it, the
Thank you
security
very much.
consultant should not have a stake. If he is
You made
having
one
any
more
bias
clear.
towards a OEM of security systems or to a physical security guarding company, I am sure, he will always prefer to recommend that solutions.
Yeah, we have a long discussion, very thorough discussion, and the statement which you made, it is not rocket science, but you made also very sure that it is not very simple also. So consultancy is, a specialized function, and one need to have maybe right amount of knowledge, uh, very liberal dose of experience, and insight on what is being looked into, what is the focus of your consultancy area. And of course, like I made observation that in India, probably uh, occupational standards need to be drafted so that right authorities take note of it. And I am sure that something can be done on it. For the benefit of our viewers, the consultancy, whole spectrum of the activities are so very well explained by Commander Sudhir Kumar, and I feel immensely thankful and delighted to have this discussion with you. Thank you very much for being with us, and for our viewers, I would just summarize what has been discussed. and what is the extract out of the discussion. The security consultants essentially provide expert opinions and analysis and recommendations to organizations or the individuals based on their own expertise. They are essentially fixers of problems, serving as objective troubleshooters and providing strategies to prevent problems and improve performances. Security survey, risk assessment, due diligence may be the activities undertaken by them, but all are aimed to risk minimization, where they are trained, how they acquire variable educational knowledge, what documents they consult before finalizing their reports. All these have been discussed in the subject. Remain tuned in. If you have not already subscribed to our channel, kindly do so. We on average monthly hold security leadership discussion where we bring ace security domain experts with a lot of wisdom, knowledge and experience to share what they feel on specific subjects which are aimed towards professionalizing the professionals. Till we meet again through YouTube live discussion, remain happy, remain healthy. God bless you.
Thank you very much,